Over the last 60 years, the total biomass of flying insects on Earth has dropped by as much as 75%. Biologist E.O. Wilson warned that the loss of these insects would lead to a complete structural failure of the natural world. This collapse triggers an immediate ripple effect. Birds and amphibians lose their primary food source, and without beetles to recycle dead matter, the forest floor ceases to regenerate. While ecologists track this environmental thinning, medical researchers are documenting a parallel decline inside the human body. Dr. Shanna Swan's research indicates that human reproductive capacity is on a similar downward trajectory. Since 1970, median male sperm counts have fallen significantly, from 118 million units per milliliter in hunter-gatherer populations down to just 35 million today. If this constant decline continues, counts will hit zero by 2045, leaving half the male population with no viable sperm. We are beginning to see that the collapse of the insect world and the decline in human fertility are not isolated events, but are linked to the same environmental shifts. Modern agriculture was built on a specific trade-off. We moved away from the complex living cycles of the soil to prioritize the speed and uniformity required for industrial-scale yields. To replace the natural pest control and microbial fertility we lost, we began saturating our cropland with synthetic pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. These compounds are engineered for a single biological purpose: to terminate life by disrupting the vital systems of insects and plants. The central oversight of this system was the assumption that chemicals designed to destroy the reproductive and nervous systems of smaller organisms would have no effect on the humans who consume them. Many industrial pesticides are systemic, meaning they move past the surface and integrate into the cellular structure of produce like apples and berries. You cannot simply wash them away. Researchers at Harvard and Massachusetts General Hospital studied this link in couples at a fertility clinic. They tracked the participants' dietary pesticide intake to see if common agricultural residues impacted their ability to conceive. The results for men were stark. Those consuming the least pesticide-ridden produce had double the sperm count of the highest exposure group. In women, it was equally measurable. The low pesticide group saw 68 live births, nearly double the 38 births in the high exposure group. This happens because many modern pesticides act as endocrine disruptors. Once they enter our bloodstream, they interfere with the delicate internal signaling that governs reproduction. These chemicals can mimic estrogen or block testosterone, often stunting reproductive development before a child is even born. The chemical tools we use to dominate the soil have breached our biological defenses, directly impacting human reproductive health at its most foundational level. The Total Reboot philosophy argues that the body cannot return to balance while it is still immersed in the same toxic environment that caused the disruption. The Bahia Reboot health retreat was designed as a living model for repairing this broken connection between human biology and the earth. The retreat uses regenerative agroforestry to restore the soil and protect the local insect populations, removing synthetic chemicals from the local ecosystem entirely. By creating this closed loop, the retreat produces food that is free from endocrine-disrupting residues, allowing the body to receive nourishment without chemical interference. Bahia Reboot demonstrates that when we stop the influx of environmental toxins, we create the necessary conditions for our internal signaling systems to begin the process of restoration. This model is moving beyond the retreat through Coastal Horizons Brazil, which integrates chemical-free agriculture directly into permanent residential designs. It demonstrates a path for scaling toxin-free living into everyday communities, protecting both the soil and the people living on it. Because our biology is an extension of the ecosystem, the health of the soil and the health of the human body are the same. We cannot restore one without the other. But pesticides are only part of the story. In our next episode, we'll look at how modern food processing and engineered ingredients have created a second invisible threat to our biology.